popular Ghanaian-born American comedian Michael Blackson found himself unfortunately caught up in the financial fallout of corruption and mismanagement under Ghana's previous MPP government. See, Blackson has built a beautiful school, a free school in Ghana with the goal of providing quality education to local children. How fantastic it is for a Ghanaian who lives in the diaspora, who lives in the US, to come home and say, I am going to invest my own funds to build a school for children in my country. He did it independently, raised funds all by himself without any government support. How amazing, right? Now, to fund the school's long-term operations, he invested $1.2 million in Ghana's Eurobonds, expecting the returns to help sustain the initiative. However, him, along with many other investors, lost their investment. So here's a video of Michael Blackson himself sharing his experience and how everything went down. Let's take a look.
But recently, I read that Ghana robbed you for $1 million.
Yeah, actually $1.2 million.
$1.2 million?
Well, I mean, robbery, I was probably obsessed, so I probably made it a little bit more harsh than what it was. So when I built this school, you know, I've been going home for the past, since when I went back home for the first time. For the past 20 years, I've been going home. You know, I go home and one thing I noticed a lot of the kids in the cities or even in the villages, they're all hanging around doing school hours. And I never understood that because, you know, from the time I came to America, the kids had to go to school because school's free. I felt so bad. I'm like, you know, when I would get some money, I'm gonna do something about it, you know. And then I eventually, you know, I got blessed enough. I mean, took like $500,000, built this beautiful campus, beautiful school, you know, with a house next to it in case I decided to go visit, I could just chill there. Built this nice thing in a village, you know. So I said to myself, how can I sustain this for life? So at that time, you know, they had Eurobonds, right? So Eurobonds, pretty much, the money would stay in the currency that you put it in. Whether it's euro, dollars, pounds, whatever you put it in, it would be in that currency, right? And the Eurobonds was paying, if I'm not mistaken, at least 9% interest rate, which is unheard of. You know, because I have bonds here in the States and they're like 4.5, 5%.
4.5%, yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, this is almost twice the amount. So I did my calculation on the school. I said, okay, this school's costing me about $9,000 to $10,000 a month, which is not bad at all to run a whole school.
Still a lot of money, though.
Still a lot of money.
Yeah, over $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, 9 to 10.
After taxes and all that stuff. Yeah, I get it.
I said, every month this school's cost me $9,000 to $10,000 a month. How much would I need to put in bonds so that way I'm having this money come in? And I said, okay, $1 million. In fact, I ended up doing $1.2 because when I wired the money, I thought I only wired $750,000, but I already had wired $1 million, and I remember doing another $250,000 more. So I built the school. I said, okay, let me send this money. It's gonna bring me, you know, $10,000 a month. School be paid for. I invested $1.2 million in my country, and I'm like, okay, this is the land where I came from. This place made me who I am. What's wrong with giving them, you know? Well, if you add the school money, almost $2 million because I built the school. I said, what's wrong with me giving back to where I came from? It's only right.
Right.
If I was an African, I would not be who I am today.
Right. But the investment funds were actually seized by Ghana.
But it wasn't seized. So, well, it felt like it was seized for it. So this is what happened. So we put the money up. I probably it made one payment. The payment stopped. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? I spoke to the lady at the bank. She said, you know, they're just having a little issue. The government, you know, they're in debt. They borrowed money from China, COVID, bunch of excuses, which is excuses to me.
They used your money to pay back their Chinese debt.
Yeah, they used my money to pay China.
That's crazy.
Crazy, unheard of.
Yeah.
But then I spoke to one guy that worked for that particular regime. You know, and I apologize for blaming my problem on Ghana. Ghana is not the problem. It's usually it's people that are in office are the problem. So the particular Ministry of Finance from the NPP regime, we have Democrat here and Republican. Here in Ghana, they have like, the big ones are NPP and NDC. So at that particular time, NPP was in office. So they are the one to be blamed for it, not Ghana. Ghana is a great country with great people. I apologize to my Ghana for what I said, but I'm blaming it on the NPP and the Ministry of Finance and whoever, or that regime. They decided to use our money to pay whatever debt it is, and then what it said to us? It said, thank you for helping us save the country.
Thank you for helping us save this country, when $20 billion is sitting somewhere in someone's bank account.
We didn't hear nothing for, now it's going on 2 years, no payment. So now how am I going to go find new money to pay for the school? And now I'm funding out of my pocket. Now my money is on hold. And, so I spoke to the bank lady. She said, Mike, they're going to figure this out. Just a little issue, but everything should be okay. I said, okay, cool.
2 years later.
2 years later, then I hit up one of my guys that worked for that regime. I said, yo, man, what's up with your government? He's like, Mike, I'll get you your money back, but I'm going to need 10%. Right? And trust me, I wish I would have did that. Because a lot of times, those guys have the power to do that.
Because you still haven't gotten your money back.
No,
Still don't have it back.
I don't have it back. So I wish I would have did that. But I spoke to the lady at the bank, the bank manager. I said, listen, I got a guy that works, he said he get my money back, but he wants 10%. He said, Mike, if you don't need this money right away, don't lose $100,000 or $120,000. Just wait. They're going to figure this out very soon. I said, okay. I took her word for it. I said, all right, man. I said, forget it, Then I spoke to a bigger guy. This guy is like cousins to the president. He's like the right-hand man. This guy probably make decisions in Ghana. I'm definitely not mentioning his name, right? I was like, what the fuck is up with your government? What's up with this money? He said, Mike, everything's going to be okay. We about to figure it all out. He said, if all else fail, at worst, whatever date each one puts to mature, you get your money back plus the interest. Which I didn't mind, because those are all like 3-4 year bond. If I know for a fact, and in fact, one of them was about to mature like this year, and then other one's probably like a year later. I didn't mind waiting a year or two to get all my money back with interest. He said, when it matures, at worst, you'll get your money back with interest. When he told me that and I knew he run shit, I felt comfortable. I said, okay, I'm good. 2 months prior to the election, they finally made a decision on the Eurobonds. They gave us 2 options. Either take one or they'll pick one for you, right? The first option is your 3-4 year bond is now 11-year bond.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And whatever amount of money you gave them, you're going to lose 37% of it.
Should have gone for the 10%.
I should have gone for the 10%.
Yeah.
Right? You lose 37% of it. Now, if you give them $1 million, you lost almost $400,000. Now now your 9% interest rate that you had is now 5%. Those are the option one. Option two, you don't lose none of your money you give them. You keep your whole amount of money. But now instead of your 3-4 year plan is now 15 years before you get your money back, right? Instead of you getting your 9% interest rate, it's 1.5%. So pick which one you want.
Yeah. Basically robbing you.
Robbing you.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I went on Twitter and I lit them motherfuckers up. And I became a hero because I had a voice. A lot of time people are afraid to speak. And my thing, if I was just some businessman just trying to make money and I took a L, it wouldn't bother as much. But I mean, this money was to pay for a free school, and I'm doing the government's job.
So Blackson had a platform, right? He could use his voice. But what about the potentially hundreds or even thousands of people who lost their investments and didn't have a platform, didn't have anyone to go to? They couldn't speak up. What about them? Thankfully, that's not how the story ends. After seeing Blackson's interview, President Mahama reached out and directed his Minister of Finance to immediately settle payment to everyone who got caught up in this saga. And I just want to quickly read to you this letter that he issued directing his Minister of Finance, to settle the payments to everyone who was involved. So he said, following a directive from President John Dramani Mahama, the Ministry of Finance has today, as of 17 February 2025, honored the payment in cash coupon of 6.81 billion Ghana cedis to all domestic debt exchange program bondholders. Government has also honored the payment in kind portion of 3.46 billion Ghana cedis deposited into the respective bondholder security accounts in line with the DDEP memorandum. Additionally, Ghana has also paid into the debt service recovery cedi account an amount of 9.7 billion Ghana cedi as a buffer for the fifth DDEP coupon that will fall due in July and August 2025. President Mahama is committed. Now, this is that part, right? President Mahama is committed to the government's honoring of all obligations under the DDEP. Through the 2025 budget statement, government will announce further measures that would help to restore market confidence in the economy, prioritize spending, and improve transparency and accountability in public finance. Ultimately, government seeks to restore fiscal prudence while ensuring value for every peso spent. And despite the challenging economy that was bequeathed by the previous administration, government is still determined to bring back a stable cedi, control spiraling inflation, and create jobs for the teeming youth of our country. How incredible. And so, in response to this, Blackson, of course, went on Twitter and let the whole world know what has happened, and he is jubilating. He is excited. He is so, so thankful. This is what he posted. He said, "Look at God. Look at God. This is a very great start for all bondholders. And as of today, I'm officially a member of the NDC party." And tagging John Mahama, you just put a smile on the faces of the kids at my free school. What a story. You know, I always say that in politics, you got to give credit when it's due. And so to President John Mahama, well done. This is just such a great start. And to everyone watching, Ghana is still open for business. Thank you guys again for watching. Again, remember, if you are enjoying this show, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, engage, and let's keep the conversation going, okay? Until next time, be well.